In a distant future, the galaxy was ruled by an ancient race known as a Nixery. With their dark, shimmering skin, elongated limbs, and glowing eyes, they commanded respect throughout the universe. Queen Melara, the powerful leader of the Nixery, sat on her crystal throne, gazing at the stars through the vast window of her palace on the planet Velixia. Melara had ruled for over 100 cycles and brought peace and prosperity to her people. She was wise, fierce, and unyielding. Her subjects adored her, and her enemies feared her. Melara had managed to unite many worlds under one banner, creating a prosperous coalition. But her reign was about to face a challenge unlike any other. One day, during a council meeting, a Nixery advisor named Talon approached Melara with urgent news. "Your Majesty, we have received reports of strange ships entering our galaxy. They come from a world called Earth." Melara's interest piqued. "Earth? What we know about these ships?" Talon shook his head. "Not much, Your Majesty. They are unlike any vessels we have seen before. They are larger, and their speed is incredible. We have sent scouts to gather information." Days turned into weeks as Melara awaited news from her scouts. Meanwhile, whispers among her court began to rise. Some feared an invasion, while others thought the newcomers could be allies. Melara remained calm. She believed she could control the situation, as she always had. Finally, a group of scouts returned, battered but alive. Among them was a courageous Nixery warrior named Kale. He stood before Melara, his eyes wide with disbelief. "Your Majesty, the humans are not what we expected. They are fierce creatures with incredible strength and cunning. They can withstand conditions that would crush us. They are truly Deathworlders." "What do you mean by Deathworlders?" Melara asked, intrigued. "Their home, Earth, is a planet full of danger. They evolved in a harsh environment, facing predators and storms alike. This has made them formidable fighters. They do not flinch in battle, and their technology is advanced. We must tread carefully, or we might provoke them." Melara pondered this information. She knew that if the Nixery were to engage with these Earthlings, they had to do it wisely. She decided to send an envoy, a group of Nixery, to meet the humans and understand their intentions. The envoy included Kale, who was eager to learn more about these beings. They traveled aboard their ships to the edge of the galaxy, where the Earthlings had established a base. The Nixery arrived to find a bustling activity among the human vessels, which were unlike anything they had encountered before. As they approached, they were greeted by a group of humans led by a tall figure named Captain Lila Adams. She wore a sleek uniform and had a determined look on her face. When she saw the Nixery ships landing, curiosity lit her eyes. Melara watched from a holographic display in her palace as the envoys stepped down from their ships. She felt a mix of pride and anxiety. Kale bowed slightly, trying to show respect while also maintaining Nixery dignity. "Welcome, visitors from the stars." Captain Adams called out, her voice strong. "I am Captain Lila Adams. We come in peace." Kale stepped forward. "I am Kale of the Nixery. We have heard of your strength and resilience. We wish to understand your people." The two sides began to converse. At first, the discussions were filled with caution. The Nixery shared stories of their galaxy, while the humans recounted tales of their homeworld. Kale was fascinated by the Earthlings. They lived in harsh conditions, yet managed to thrive and build civilizations. As days passed, the relationship began to grow. Kale and Captain Adams found a mutual respect for each other. Kale admired her bravery, and she admired his wisdom. They shared meals, exchanged gifts, and discussed their cultures. Even the differences between them, the Nixery's affinity for the dark and the humans' love for light, became subjects of deep conversations. However, not everyone was pleased with this budding friendship. Back on Velixia, Melara's chief advisor, Talon, grew worried. He saw the humans as a threat to their power. "Your Majesty, we cannot trust them. They could be planning an attack, while your envoy is distracted." Melara considered Talon's words, but felt a connection growing between the Nixery and humans. She decided to give the peace talks time, believing that understanding was the path forward. Suddenly, chaos erupted when news reached them that a rogue faction of Earthlings, led by a mercenary named Marcus, had arrived. He believed the Nixery were weak and aimed to conquer their territory for resources. He attacked a peaceful base with a fleet of heavily armed ships. Kale and Adams, realizing the threat, quickly united their forces. "We must work together to fight back," Kale urged. Captain Adams nodded. Her determination set. "We can't let them destroy what we built." As the battle raged, the Nixery and Earthlings fought side by side, using their unique abilities to outsmart Marcus's mercenaries. Kale demonstrated his agility, while Lila showcased her tactical brilliance. Together, they coordinated their attacks, turning the tide of battle against the outsiders. Finally, after a long confrontation, Marcus was defeated. The combined strength of the Nixery and humans proved unstoppable. In that moment of victory, a new bond was forged. Back on Belixia, Melara watched the events unfold. Her heart raced as she realized that the arrival of the Earthlings could indeed change the course of her reign. Instead of viewing them as a threat, she could see the possibility of a new alliance. In the aftermath of the battle, Kale returned to Belixia with Captain Adams by his side. The two stood before Melara, who greeted them with newfound respect. "You have shown bravery and wisdom," she said. "Perhaps we can find strength together, forging a new future for both our peoples." As the new alliance was formed, the galaxy shifted. Together, the Nixery and humans began to explore the stars, their differences enriching the fabric of the universe. They faced challenges and adventures, but with each journey, they learned from one another, proving that even in the darkest times, unity could shine brighter than any star. And so, Melara's reign continued, not as a solitary queen, but as a leader of a coalition, a new force in the galaxy that promised hope and strength for generations to come. In a distant future, far beyond the reaches of human imagination, a colossal empire ruled the galaxy. This empire was known as the Zerathal Federation, led by the fierce and wise Empress Eloria. She had conquered world after world, uniting diverse species under her banner. Her reign brought peace and prosperity, but her heart was cold, driven by the thirst for power. Eloria governed from her grand capital on the planet Zerathal Prime, a sparkling gem with towering crystal castles and lush gardens. She was tall and radiant, with shimmering silver hair that flowed like a river of moonlight. Her advisors were loyal to her, but few dared to challenge her. One day, a mysterious signal echoed through the galaxy. It was a plea for help from a small planet on the edge of the known universe, Earth. The inhabitants were known as humans, often referred to as Deathworlders due to their harsh environment. They were unpredictable, resilient, and dangerous, unlike the other species. Curiosity sparkled in Eloria's teal eyes as she decided to send an envoy to Earth. A delegation of her finest warriors, led by Captain Tarek, embarked on a spaceship called the Celestial Dawn. Tarek was a brave soldier with a fierce loyalty to Eloria. He admired her strength but questioned her methods. The journey took weeks, and the crew faced numerous challenges. They navigated through asteroid fields and dodged space pirates, all while learning about the humans through their databanks. When they finally arrived at Earth, they were surprised by its chaotic beauty. Vast cities thrived amid wild forests. The air was filled with strange sounds and colors. Tarek and his crew landed their ship in a large clearing, ready to meet the humans. The humans were cautious, but curious. A group of them approached the spaceship, led by a woman named Captain Maya. She was a skilled leader, known for her fierce determination and tactical mind. Tarek stepped forward, extending a hand in friendship. Maya looked at him with skepticism. "What do you want?" she asked, her icy blue eyes searching his face. "Your world is in danger. We come to assist you," Tarek replied. "And why should we trust you?" she challenged. Tarek sensed Maya's fierce spirit and admired it. "We are from the Zerathal Federation. We can help you fight against the invaders threatening your home." Maya pondered for a moment, then nodded. "All right, but we'll need to work together." As the sun set, Tarek and Maya gathered their teams, sharing knowledge about their enemies. Eloria had sent a fleet to Earth, but the threat was not only from her. Other factions in the galaxy wanted to take advantage of Earth's turmoil. They planned their defenses, blending human strategies with Zerathal technology. They trained day and night, learning from each other. The humans taught the Zerathal about the unpredictability of their environment, while the Zerethals shared advanced combat techniques. Weeks passed and the tension grew. Eloria's forces arrived, swarming like a dark cloud. They were met by a fierce resistance from humans and Zerethal warriors fighting side by side. The battles were fierce and chaotic, and both sides suffered losses. Tarek fought valiantly alongside Maya, their bond strengthening. They learned to trust each other, understanding that their fight was not just for survival, but for a new future. As Eloria's fleet pressed forward, Tarek began to see the cracks in her empire. The glory she sought was costly, and the lives of countless beings hung in the balance. In a pivotal battle, Eloria herself arrived, her ship gliding above the chaos. The sky darkened as she unleashed powerful weapons upon Earth's defenders. Tarek and Maya knew they had to confront her. They boarded the Celestial Dawn and took off into the storm of war. As they approached Eloria's ship, she recognized Tarek and Maya. "You dare to defy me?" she shouted, her voice echoing through the comms. "We are not your subjects, Empress." Maya shouted back, "We will not bow to your tyranny." Eloria smiled coldly. "Then you'll be the first to fall." The ensuing battle was fierce. Tarek piloted the ship with precision, while Maya coordinated their tactics. They executed maneuvers that confused Eloria's forces, using the element of surprise against her. But Eloria's power was immense, and her ships were formidable. Just as defeat seemed inevitable, Tarek remembered the human phrase, "Together we are stronger." He and Maya devised a bold plan to disable Eloria's flagship. They used a combination of their technology, creating a powerful shockwave that disrupted Eloria's systems. The move worked. Eloria's command ship faltered, and for the first time, the Empress felt fear. Tarek and Maya seized the opportunity and breached the flagship, embarking on a daring mission to confront Eloria herself. Inside, they battled guards, using their combined skills to overcome the odds. Their teamwork inspired hope, and soon the Zerethal soldiers began to question Eloria's commands. In her command chamber, Eloria awaited them, her expression filled with fury and disbelief. "You think you can overthrow me?" she sneered. "Maya and I stand for a new galaxy, one where people are free, not ruled by fear," Tarek declared. Just then, a massive explosion shook the ship, and Eloria realized her forces were faltering. As she turned to assess the situation, Maya seized a chance, aiming her weapon at Eloria's power core. "This ends now." Eloria's confidence crumbled. "No, you don't understand. I am the galaxy." "No, you were," Maya responded firmly. "And now we forge a new path." Maya fired, and energy surged through the room. A blinding light engulfed them, and the ship began to tear apart. Tarek grabbed Maya's hand, and they fled toward an escape pod, just as the ship erupted in a chain of explosions behind them. As they ejected into the void of space, their hearts raced. They landed safely on Earth, where they were greeted as heroes. The combined forces had successfully defended their world, and Eloria's reign had shattered. While the galaxy mourned the end of an era, a new dawn arose. Tarek and Maya had forged an alliance that transcended their worlds, nurturing hope for a brighter future. In the vastness of space, they understood that together, anything was possible. And so, the galaxy continued, filled with new dreams and unity, as new leaders emerged, building a future on the ashes of tyranny, where no one was truly superior and every life mattered. Characters: 1. Anya Volkov, the protagonist, a brilliant but eccentric Earth scientist. 2. Zorgan, an alien general, initially arrogant but later humbled. 3. Xyler, an alien diplomat, known for his patience and understanding. 4. Captain Eva Rostova, a skilled and determined Earth spaceship captain. Here is the story. Anya Volkov hummed a tuneless melody, her fingers flying across the holographic display. Equations swirled around her, mapping the energy signatures emanating from the newly discovered wormhole. "Almost there," she muttered, her eyes gleaming with manic excitement, almost ready to poke a hole in the universe. Meanwhile, across the vast gulf of space, Empress Lyra of the Zargonian Empire sat upon her crystal throne. For centuries, her dynasty had ruled the galaxy with an iron fist, their advanced technology and ruthless efficiency unmatched. News of a primitive species on a planet called Earth barely registered on her radar. They were insignificant, a blip in the cosmic tapestry. General Zorgan, a hulking brute of a Zargonian, stood before her. "Empress," he boomed, his voice echoing to the throne room. "We have detected unusual activity near the galactic rim. A new wormhole has opened, originating from a planet designated Earth." Lyra waved a dismissive hand. "Earth, another primitive species ripe for assimilation. Send a scout ship. If they prove troublesome, eradicate them." Zorgan grinned, revealing rows of sharp teeth. "As you command, Empress." He relished the thought of crushing another weak species under Zargonian heel. Back on Earth, Anya's experiment reached its climax. The wormhole shimmered into existence, a swirling vortex of colors defying human comprehension. "It's open!" she shouted, her voice filled with triumph. "We did it! We actually did it!" Captain Eva Rostova, a veteran of countless space missions, stood beside her, her expression a mixture of awe and apprehension. "Are you sure this thing is stable, Anya?" Anya shrugged, her eyes still glued to the wormhole. "Relatively. On a cosmic scale of one utter annihilation, I'd say it's a solid 3. Eva sighed. "That's reassuring." The Zargonian scout ship, commanded by Lieutenant Grack, was the first to venture through the wormhole. Grack, eager to impress his superiors, expected to find a primitive, easily conquered world. What he found was far from it. Earth's defenses, though untested, were formidable. Anya, anticipating potential threats, had rigged the wormhole with sensors and automated defense systems. As the scout ship emerged, it was met with a barrage of energy blasts. "Report," Grack roared, as alarms blared throughout the ship. "We're under attack," a crew member yelled. "They're using some kind of advanced energy weapon." The scout ship, heavily damaged, limped back to the wormhole, carrying news of Earth's unexpected resistance. General Zorgan was furious. "Insolent primitives," he bellowed. "Prepare the fleet. We will crush them." Empress Lyra, though surprised by Earth's initial defiance, remained confident. "Send in the main fleet," she ordered. "Teach them the price of resisting the Zargonian Empire." The Zargonian fleet, a vast armada of warships, emerged from the wormhole, ready to obliterate Earth. But they were met with a determined resistance. Earth's space forces, led by Captain Eva Rostova, fought with ferocity that surprised invaders. "They're relentless," Zorgan exclaimed, watching the battle unfold on the main view screen. "They fight like cornered beasts." Anya, meanwhile, was busy coordinating Earth's defenses from her underground lab. She had developed a series of innovative weapons, using Earth's unique resources and her own scientific genius. "Target their energy reactors," she instructed. "Disrupt their shields. We can beat them. Eva, I know we can." The battle raged for days, with heavy losses on both sides. But Earth's determination and Anya's ingenuity began to turn the tide. Zargonian warships, once thought invincible, were being destroyed one by one. Empress Lyra, watching the reports from her throne room, grew increasingly alarmed. "This cannot be," she exclaimed. "How can these primitives possibly resist the might of the Zargonian Empire?" Xyler, the Zargonian Empire's chief diplomat, stepped forward. "Empress," he said calmly, "perhaps we should consider a different approach. These Earthlings are clearly more resilient than we anticipated. Perhaps negotiation is a better option than annihilation." Lyra scoffed. "Negotiation? With primitives? Never." But as the reports of Zargonian losses continued to mount, she began to reconsider. "Very well," she conceded. "Send a message. Offer them terms of surrender." Xyler contacted Earth, requesting a meeting with their leaders. Anya and Eva, along with a team of scientists and military officials, agreed to meet with the Zargonian delegation on neutral ground, a space station orbiting the moon. The meeting was tense. Zorgan, still seething with anger, glared at the Earthlings with undisguised contempt. But Xyler, with his calm demeanor and diplomatic skills, managed to keep the negotiations on track. "We offer you peace," Xyler said, "in exchange for your submission to the Zargonian Empire." Anya stood up, her eyes blazing with defiance. "We will never submit," she declared. "We will defend our freedom to the very end." Eva nodded in agreement. "We are not afraid of you," she said. "We have shown you what we are capable of. We will not be slaves." Xyler sighed. "I understand your position, but consider the alternative. We have the power to destroy your planet. And we have the power to surprise you," Anya retorted. "We have secrets you cannot imagine, weapons you cannot comprehend. We are not the primitives you think we are." The negotiation stalled. Zorgan, impatient and arrogant, demanded that Lyra authorize a full-scale assault on Earth. But Xyler argued for patience. "Empress," he said, "these Earthlings are unpredictable. We do not fully understand their capabilities. A full-scale assault could be disastrous. Let us continue to negotiate. Perhaps we can find a way to coexist." Lyra, torn between her desire for conquest and her fear of defeat, reluctantly agreed. She granted Xyler more time to negotiate, but warned him that her patience was wearing thin. As the negotiations continued, Anya and her team worked tirelessly to develop new technologies, new strategies, and new alliances. They reached out to other species in the galaxy, species who had suffered under Zargonian rule, and offered them a chance to fight for their freedom. The galaxy was on the brink of war. The Zargonian Empire, once unchallenged, faced a growing rebellion, and at the heart of it all was Earth, the small, seemingly insignificant planet that had dared to defy the Empress. The climax approached. Would Earth be crushed under the Zargonian heel, or would they spark a revolution that would liberate the galaxy? The answer, it seemed, would depend on the courage of a few, the ingenuity of one, and the unwavering spirit of a planet that refused to be conquered.